but he's gone now. It looks like he got on a plane. We think he's headed back to Forks to start over. I could hear Alice filling in Jasper behind me, her quick words blurring together into a humming noise. I know. Alice saw that he got away. You don't have to worry, though. He won't find anything to lead him to you. You just have to stay there and wait until we find him again. I'll be fine. Is Esme with Charlie? Yes. The female has been in town. She went to the house, but while Charlie was at work. She hasn't gone near him, so don't be afraid. He's safe with Esme and Rosalie watching. What is she doing? Probably trying to pick up the trail. She's been all through the town during the night. Rosalie traced her through the airport, all the roads around town, the school. She's digging, Bella, but there's nothing to find. And you're sure Charlie's safe? Yes. Esme won't let him out of her sight, and we'll be there soon. If the tracker gets anywhere near Forks, we'll have him. I miss you, I whispered. I know, Bella. Believe me, I know. It's like you've taken half of myself away with you. Come and get it then, I challenged. Soon. As soon as I possibly can. I will make you safe first. His voice was hard. I love you, I reminded him. Could you believe that despite everything I put you through, I love you too? Yes, I can, actually. I'll come for you soon. I'll be waiting. As soon as the phone went dead, the cloud of depression began to creep over me again. I turned to give the phone back to Alice and found her and Jasper bent over the table, where Alice was sketching on a piece of hotel stationery. I leaned on the back of the couch looking over her shoulder. She drew a room, long rectangular, with the thinner square section at the back. The wooden planks that made up the floor stretched lengthwise across the room. Down the walls were lines denoting the breaks in the mirrors, and then wrapping around the walls waist-high a long band. The band, Alice said, was gold. It's a ballet studio, I said, suddenly recognizing the familiar shapes. They looked at me surprised. Do you know this room? Jasper's voice sounded calm, but there was an undercurrent of something I couldn't identify. Alice bent her head to her work, her hand flying across the page now, the shape of an emergency exit taking shape against the back wall, the stereo and TV on a low table by the front right corner. It looks like a place I used to go for dance lessons when I was 8 or 9. It was shaped just the same. I touched a page where the square section jutted out, narrowing the back part of the room. That's where the bathrooms were. The doors were through the other dance floor. But the stereo was here. I pointed to the left corner. It was older and there wasn't a TV. There was a window in the waiting room. You would see the room from this perspective if you looked through it. Alice and Jasper were staring at me. Are you sure it's the same room? Jasper asked, still calm. No, not at all. I suppose most dance studios will look the same. The mirrors, the bars. I traced my finger up the ballet bar set against the mirrors. It's just the shape that looked familiar. I touched the door, set in exactly the same place as the one I remembered. Would you have any reason to go there now? Alice asked, breaking my reverie. No, I haven't been there in almost 10 years. I was a terrible dancer. That always put me in the back for recitals, I admitted. So there's no way it could be connected with you, Alice asked intently. No, I don't even think the same person owns it. I'm sure it's just another dance studio somewhere. Where was the studio you went to? Jasper asked in a casual tone. It was just around the corner from my mom's house. I used to walk there after school, I said, my voice trailing off. I didn't miss the looks they changed. Here in Phoenix, then? His voice was still casual. Yes, I whispered. 58th Street and Cactus. We all sat in silence staring at the drawing. Alice, is that phone safe? Yes, she reassured me. The number was just traced back to Washington. Then I can use it to call my mom? I thought she was in Florida. She is, but she's coming home soon, and she can't come back to the house while. My voice trembled. I was thinking about something Edward had said about the red-haired female at Charlie's house at the school where my records would be. How will you reach her? They don't have a permanent number except for at the house. She's supposed to check her messages regularly. Jasper? Alice asked. He thought about it. I don't think there's any way it could hurt. Be sure you don't say where you are, of course. I reached eagerly for the phone and dialed the familiar number. It rang 4 times, and then I heard my mama's breezy voice telling me to leave a message. Mom? I said after the beep. It's me. Listen, I need you to do something. It's important. As soon as you get this message, call me at this number. Alice was already at my side, writing the number for me at the bottom of her picture. I read it carefully, twice. Please don't go anywhere until you talk to me. Don't worry, I'm okay, but I have to talk to you right away, no matter how late you get this call, alright? I love you, Mom. Bye. I closed my eyes and prayed with all my might that no unforeseen change would bring her home before she got my message. I settled into the sofa, nibbling on a plate of leftover fruit, anticipating a long evening. I thought about calling Charlie, but I wasn't sure if I should be home by now or not. I concentrated on the news, watching out for stories about Florida, or about spring training, strikes or hurricanes or terrorist attacks, anything that might send him home early. Immortality must grant endless patience. Neither Jasper nor Alice seemed to feel the need to do anything at all. For a while, Alice sketched a vague outline of the dark room from her vision, as much as she could see in the light from the TV. But when she was done, she simply sat, looking at the blank walls with her tine's eyes. Jasper, too, seemed to have no urge to pace, or peek through the curtains, or run screaming out the door the way I did. I must have fallen asleep on the couch, waiting for the phone to ring again. The touch of Alice's cold hands woke me briefly as she carried me to the bed, and I was unconscious again before my head hit the pillow. Chapter 21. Phone Call. I could feel it was too early again when I woke, and I knew I was getting the schedule of my days and nights slowly reversed. I lay in my bed and listened to the quiet voices of Alice and Jasper in the other room. They were loud enough for me to hear it all. It was strange. I rose till my feet touched the floor, then staggered to the living room. The clock on the TV said it was just after 2 in the morning. Alice and Jasper were sitting together on the sofa, Alice sketching again while Jasper looked over her shoulder. They didn't look up when I entered, too engrossed in Alice's work. I crept to Jasper's side to peek. Did she see something more? I asked him quietly. Yes. Something's brought him back to the room with the VCR, but it's light now. I watched as Alice drew a square room with dark beams across its low ceiling. The walls were pounded wood, a little too dark, out of date. The floor had a dark carpet with a pattern in it. There was a large window against the south wall, and an opening through the west wall led to the living room. One side of the entrance was stone, a large tan stone fireplace that was open to both rooms. The focus of the room from this perspective, the TV, the VCR, balanced on a 2 small wooden stand, were on the southwest corner of the room. An 8-sectional sofa curved around in front of the TV, a round coffee table in front of it. The phone goes there, I whispered, pointing. 2 pairs of eternal eyes stared at me. That's my mother's house. Alice was already off the couch, phone in hand, dialing. I stared at the precise rendering of my mother's family room. Uncharacteristically, Jasper stood closer to me. He lightly touched his hand to my shoulder, and the physical contact seemed to make his calming influence stronger. The panic stayed dull, unfocused. Alice's lips were trembling with the speed of her words, the low buzzing impossible to decipher. I couldn't concentrate. Bella, Alice said. I looked at her numbly. Bella, Ellery is coming to get you. He and Emmett and Carla are going to take you somewhere, to hide you for a while. Edward is coming? The words were like a life vest holding my head above the flood. Yes, he's catching the first flight of Seattle. We'll meet him at the airport, and you'll leave with him. But my mother, he came here for my mother, Alice. Despite Jasper and the hysteria bubbled up in my voice. Jasper and I will stay until she's safe. I can't win, Alice. You can't guard everyone I know forever. Don't you see what he's doing? He's not tracking me at all. He'll find someone. He'll hurt someone I love.